Hello, wonderful people of YouTube. How are we doing? Goobs back with another video. In this one, we have my settings. I've been asked so many times for settings videos and just like certain settings in general. You guys are getting the full rundown here. From my hitting settings, my pitching settings, my base running settings, my cameras, controllers, my monitors, everything, any kind of setting that you have questions about, I'm gonna try and cover in this video. Before I do hop into the settings right away, guys, YouTube is telling me that 65% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. We are close to 2K, 5 videos a week this entire year. 5, not 2, that's 3, idiot. 5 videos a week, guys, so be sure to drop a sub if you are not already. Turn on those notifications, hit that cute little bell right next to it, man. You know what I mean? Maybe drop a like while you're at it too. Drop a comment. Everything helps. Any sort of questions that you guys have, if I did not cover in this video, be sure to leave them down below. Let's get into it, man. I've been asked so many times for like different settings and stuff like that, and I love helping you guys out and stuff like that. So this is a video I like to make every year, just, you know, have some sort of clip out there to showcase my settings, because I do get the question a lot, like, what's this setting, what's this setting, what's this setting? Everything is going to be covered in this video. Starting off, hitting difficulty. I've been grinding Road to the Show for XP and to get my cap up, so that's just been on beginner. Hitting difficulty does not matter unless you are actually playing offline. This has no factor in your online hitting difficulty, obviously, so that's nothing really to worry about unless you're just a strictly offline player. Hitting view, straight zone. Now, I know people love straight zone 2, or straight zone high. I have always personally just been a straight zone, so that's what normal straight zone looks like. And then if we go over to straight zone 2, it's a little bit like back. You can see it's a little bit back further, so if you don't like being as close to the actual zone. And then straight zone high is it's kind of like not centered. Feel like, I don't know, I haven't really used this one a ton, but I'm more of just a normal straight zone kind of guy anyway. It's just what I'm used to. And it's something I've been using since like MLB 16, literally since I started playing, and since DD was integrated, I've been using that camera, so it's just what I'm used to. In-play view is dynamic. This is just what it's always defaulted at every year, and it's what I like, so I've never really tried it. I know a lot of people also use high as well, I think it is. So higher dynamic, I leave it on dynamic. It's just what I've always used, and it's something that I'm just used to. Again, I can see the ball when it's only in the air. I can tell if a runner is going to get to it or not. Hitting interface is zone, so obviously you can, everyone knows what zone hitting is. I actually believe it's defaulted now. It used to be directional was the default, but I think a couple years ago they actually made it so zone is your default hitting interface, which is everyone should be using zone hitting. It's definitely the best and the most rewarding for your input skill. Input type is button, so that is just your X or your A button for at spots, just your buttons, your contact swing, your normal swing, your power swing, your bunt. People always ask me what swing do I use. I always normal swing unless I'm playing like BR or events or something, and my PCI is the size of Jupiter, and I may power swing, you know, a couple times, but 99% of the swings I take in this game, I'm using the X button. I'm using just the normal swing. You can actually use your stick to hit. You can use the right stick instead of your buttons if you actually want to, if you switch your input type to analog. I personally don't. I don't really mess around with that a whole lot, but if you want to get risky for a game or try it out, maybe you'll like it. Now, the anchoring stuff is obviously stuff that is new to this game in just this year. It's not something that I've really tinkered around with a whole lot. It's something that I've used a little bit where on certain days I'm struggling to get to certain spots, but I'm just so used to the way that I hit now, man, so it's kind of just like not really for me. You guys might use it. It's just not really something that I personally have much interest in. One of the most frequently asked questions I get when I'm streaming, or just in general, what are your PCI settings? So most time people actually ask me what my PCI settings are. I'll literally just tell them to look at the screen when I'm hitting, but I know that there are a lot of new players around now, so some people might not know what altitude or any of this stuff means. I'm weird. I like to change my PCI a lot, especially if I'm struggling. I like to blame it on my PCI and not actually my input, but you know, sometimes it's a PCI. So I have probably, I would say, like 3 main PCI settings that I use. I don't know why it's set to orange. It's meant to be yellow. The colors, I will always use yellow or I will use cyan. I also like violet as well. Violet's actually a very nice one as well. It's like this kind of like light purple. I usually like to have it at like 70% just so it's not too light, but it's also not too dark to where it's like blocking the ball almost. I really like yellow. I really like cyan. This is JV, just quick pitch me. Nice, man. I like yellow. I like cyan and I like violet. And you guys obviously know what yellow is. That is what the PCI used to be defaulted to back in the day. You couldn't actually change the color, but 70% yellow, no fade out. You will never see me using an outer PCI, but I like basic and altitude. My next one would probably be diamonds and wedge. So this is kind of just like your old school like wedge PCI, you know what I mean, from back in the day, like MLB 17 and stuff. Just an elite PCI, man. You can really see the ball well with that. And then kind of on like All-Star and Hall of Fame, I find if the PCI is too big, I like to just rock just flat out diamonds or circles or just the inner in itself. Obviously we're on beginner here, you know, the PCI is absolutely gargantuan, but it's something that if I'm more in the mentality of aim small, miss small, I'll use just diamonds. So those are my hitting settings, man. And as far as like controllers and stuff, guys, like people always ask me, and it's crazy how many times you gotta ask this, how do you hold your controller? Like how do you do this? How do you place your thumb on the stick? Guys, I literally just have a normal PS5 controller. I don't have anything special. My room is a mess right now, I'm sorry, but there's no control freaks, there's no specialties. It's just your normal PS5 controllers. I have 2 actually. I have that and I have a purple one that is charging right now. This is the newest one I got. I got this one when MLB 22 dropped, but I don't use control freaks. I don't use anything like that. The normal PS5 controller. And as far as monitors and stuff like that goes, guys, the 2 monitors that I use, I will have down in the description box below. They're both BenQ, so I have my gaming monitor here and then my PC monitor. I will link my gaming monitor in the description below. It is also a command to my stream. It is a BenQ XL2411P. I got this monitor about probably 3 years ago. I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, and it's honestly great. If you guys need a monitor suggestion, anything like 1 millisecond and 24 to 27 inches, right around that area, you can usually get a good Asus or like BenQ one for like 130, 140 bucks probably, and that should do the trick because it's definitely needed in this game. Pitching now, pinpoint, added it last year, the best addition they've ever added to this game in my opinion. I really don't think you should use any other interface. Pulse, no. Meter, no. Classic, no. Pure analog was obviously the OG, but if you're not using pinpoint now, haven't learned it, it's time to do so. Really just for pinpoint tips, guys. I do also use straight zone camera. You just have to follow that circle. I flicked down a little bit too early there, but if you guys haven't learned pinpoint yet, I highly recommend it. Just look at the look at the representation, man. Look at how fast the circle goes. A lot of problems I see with people are using pinpoint, they don't do it in like one fluent motion. They do it like go over, stop, and then flick it like really fast up. You just gotta do it slow, like one fluent motion, man. It's really like I feel like a lot of people just overcomplicate it, but pinpoint's the best by far. I like to use strike zone, or I like to also use if you would like the best, like from the catcher standpoint, the show 16 is very good as well. I like the show 16 or the show 15. I kind of, depending on the day, man. Sometimes I like to switch stuff from strike zone, but if I'm going in a sweaty against one of the best in the world, I use strike zone just so I know exactly where I'm throwing it. Pitcher offset is also another great one if you like to pitch from like the outfield and like from behind the pitcher. This is also a very good camera. I really like that camera when I'm using a lefty on the mound. I find that for some reason lefties just absolutely dominate when you're on that camera for some reason. Pitch trail on, you know, it's the one it's defaulted to, I believe, or maybe it's the fade one it's defaulted to, but you can see like the red line if it's a strike, blue line when it's a ball. Or you could go back to the like OG days, and that is if you put the classic one on and it has like the brake lines on it. This one's honestly kind of fun too, dude. The brake lines are fun too. It's just you don't really exactly know all of a sudden where the pitch might go. I just like seeing the trail just so I can actually see how much brake is on the ball and, you know, kind of where the ball is exactly gonna go. You get pinpoint down, man. Pitching is, you know, there's obviously like tunneling and stuff like that. But maybe is that something you guys be interested in? Maybe like a pitching tips and like a hitting tips video, just like certain tips on different aspects of the game. I'm not going to get too much into that in this video just because this is basically just a settings video. But so for the fielding, fellas, I like to use button accuracy. That is what you're defaulted to, the red, the yellow, the green, the yellow, the red. Obviously want to throw in the green with your perfects. That is what everyone should be using. I honestly don't even know like what other ones you can use. Yeah, you want to use button accuracy though. Throwing meter on, and then I see a couple people ask the in-play view defense camera. I have high on for this, not dynamic. I like to see like the overhead of my players when the ball is hit on defense, just in case. It's just I can judge a little bit better. Throw canceling is on as well, so fuck up the throw and you have it in the yellow. You just have to tap it again. I will show you guys that you just have to tap the ball again. All right, Bregman is just raking right now, so I just see button accuracy and you tap it again, you can throw cancel. That's just what that's the fielding, man. You know, it's pretty straightforward. It's easy to pick up. There's not really a whole lot that you want to mess with there. Other than that, fellas, I don't think there's really a whole lot. Just the drifting ball indicators you guys saw there. I have the drifting ball, just the circle. You can put the track ball on one too. It's honestly not too bad. I got to put the off the wall ribbon on. That's one thing I got to put on. It's annoying as piss that I never see that. I don't have the auto shift on. I have just my manual shifts. If I hate the auto shift with a passion, dude. So I like to put my own shifts on if I ever do. Other than that, fellas, I think that's about it for settings. There's not really a whole lot else. I guess I could show like my audio settings and stuff, but there's my audio settings. I just have basically the crack of the bat and just like the sound effects in game. I don't have any of the commentary stuff on or the music and the sounds of the show and stuff like that. Just like the menu music, or not the menu music, but like the sounds in the menu. But yeah, that's about it, boys. There's not really a whole lot else that I think I really need to cover in this in this video. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any more questions about settings or stuff like that, once again, guys, my monitor will be linked in the description box below, so be sure to go check that one out. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if these settings helped, guys, and I appreciate all the support. Peace.